Hi, I'm Ty Pennington, and welcome to Growing America, a journey to success. In this series, we join a team of the country's top business students from an organization called MBAs Across America. They meet with local entrepreneurs from across the country and help them transform their businesses. In this episode, the MBAs meet with GoGo Labs, an educational software company from Boise, Idaho. The company's first product, 3D Game Lab, brings quest-based learning to the classroom. Now, if you're like me, you may not know what quest-based learning actually is. Well, here, a quest is just another word for a lesson. Students complete these quests or lessons and gain points instead of grades. So the students are learning through playing games. I mean, their games don't look like Super Mario Brothers, but the students are gaming in the sense that they're competing and gaining points to reach higher and higher levels. So now, watch what happens when the MBA team meets the GoGo Labs owners on this episode of Growing America. Boise, Idaho. They call it the City of Trees. And amid the lush landscape, you'll find plenty of active residents. While the town may have rural roots, technology investment has become increasingly important. One local entrepreneur following the city's high-tech transformation is Dawley. Lisa's a former educator, and her company's first product, 3D Game Lab, merges gaming and education and aims to bring innovation to a profession grounded in tradition.
It's a really interesting time in education for gamified learning. For a long time, people felt like there was no space for it in education, that education's serious and we don't play. And I disagree. We can have playfulness in the classroom, and it's an okay thing. My mission is that learning is fun, and when you're surrounded in the right environment, it makes you feel powerful as the learner. What an amazing job to have. What an amazing thing, to provide the planet. So that's my mission.
Today, the MBA team arrives at GoGo Labs to meet with Lisa and company co-founder Chris Haskell to get a better understanding on their product 3D Game Lab and how it's already having an impact on the small number of classrooms using it.
So we built our own system, which turns school into a game. Experience points, levels, ranking up, the ability to make your own choices and work on things that you want to. And it's this brand of game-based learning that we turned into a system of our own. School will change more in the next 10 years than it has in the last 100. It's all gonna change. And some people can't see that. Some people see it coming.
And what's the kind of research behind that in terms of looking at this gamification technique to actually show it is better than conventional education?
So about 71% of students get an A, a B, or a C. That's kind of standard. Now, we're seeing 93% success rates in the game-based approach.
It's obvious that Lisa and her co-founder Chris are confident that gamified learning is the future of education. But as industry innovators, they're always trying to improve their product by adding new features. Something that the MBA team is realizing may be getting in the way of selling the product in its current form.
There is this grander vision of what GoGo Labs is supposed to be, of what the product will eventually become. And that is like the inspiring part to see. At the same time, the practical realities of business start coming through. As noble as the vision is, you do need money to run the operations.
So what we're going to do this week is do a series of, interviews with your staff, and also just look over the product, look over your product lifecycle, etc., and take it from there.
The MBA team respects the passion Lisa and Chris have for improving their product. But this morning at the hotel, they meet to discuss if that perfectionism is actually taking focus away from their sales. The reality is that GoGo Labs is struggling to keep their doors open, a problem that can only be solved by targeting sales.
There is this issue, right, is the product ready? Do you need to continue to develop it?
Yeah.
And weighing that against, because that obviously costs money. Money is finite. The company's not going to exist if there's no money. You can always do something to make it better, right? There's an iPhone 1, but yeah, there's iPhone 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6. right? But that doesn't mean that the original iPhone was any less sellable. It's not necessarily should you be focusing all your attention on sales and focusing a little bit less on that product side. It's on us as the MBA team to answer that question.
Like, they've got a good product, I reckon, so far.
No, I mean, the
like
product's
it.
awesome, right?
Yeah,
I think the discussion's got to happen today, right? If you want to keep adding the features as you've been super engaged in doing, you got to also do some of the revenue work too.
Yeah.
They need money to stay afloat. And so while it's nice to say, okay, you need to get to a point where you have a more standardized product, a more robust product, you need to keep running at sales, or that could be a huge problem too. It's just a tough thing to balance.
To see what happens next with GoGo Labs, click on the link to episode 2 of Growing America Boise. And don't forget to watch HLN on Sunday nights as the MBAs visit and advise businesses and cities all across the country.